I love LEGO Stunt Rally. It's a very simple top-down racing game. It isn't unique, difficult or even particularly interesting. Yet somehow I'm very happy that this game exists. It's the characters, car builds and environments that I remember most fondly. My first introduction to Stunt Rally was a demo disc. LEGO included these demo discs with other released games so you could get an idea of what the new game would be like. I don't remember which game this demo originally came with, but I'm glad it was, because I've played the demo a lot. The demo featured a very limited selection of the game. You could only play this level you see on the screen right now, and all the other levels were locked. I still wonder why they've picked this level specifically. It's one of the few levels that has no power-ups in it. It's also really easy to mess up this jump. But even with this strange decision, the demo certainly made me excited to play the full game. And here's another fun thing to mention about Stunt Rally. When I started my YouTube channel, I had to do some research to figure out what the style of the videos are going to be. LEGO Animations often use the style that's featured in the LEGO movie. That means no bending limbs, low frame rate and stylistic movements. It looks great, but I wanted to stay more faithful to how the classic LEGO games did it. Specifically how it's done in this small window of the characters. To me, the characters feel very lively and are very fun to watch. So when animating characters, I always try to keep Stunt Rally in mind. So what are we going to make? I would love to create a gameplay video that has the same feel as the original, but with a few tweaks to the gameplay and updated visuals. It's a similar concept as to what I've made for LEGO Chess and LEGO Racers. Of course, this will not be a working game, but I tried to make it look like it is. I wish I had the skills and knowledge to recreate these games for real. But as an animator, I only know how to make LEGO pieces move and look pretty. With this video, I would like to put my own spin on things by creating a few interesting gameplay elements. The original gameplay is a bit dull, since there's auto steering. You can actually complete this game by controlling one button. Originally, the developers intended the game to have free steering, and with a small tweak you can actually make it work like this. But LEGO thought it would be too tricky for the target audience to play like this, and wanted the steering to be simplified. So for the video, I would like to remove the auto steering element and make the cars move a little more freely. Wouldn't it be cool that you could see the character of the drivers through the way they drive? So I imagine Sid Vacant would oversteer through every corner. Brad Speedo would take corners like an F1 car. Maybe Megahertz would change lines very abruptly, like a robot. And Barney would probably go as straight as possible, since his dragster is very difficult to turn. I think that would be fun to see. Another thing that I would like to add is in the little character screens. The backgrounds are always the same, and the cars that the player drives are always the same too. It makes sense they've done it like this. Otherwise they had to animate 676 different car color and driver combinations. So for our video, I'll put the camera into the actual car so the background and car match with the gameplay view. My idea is to animate an existing race from the game. Since there's a chance I'll turn this into a series, I want to start with a city race. I really like Radium and want to feature his race in the video. Now we have to choose which characters we would like to see in the race. I'd like to include one of the 4 player characters. My favorite driver has always been Chip, but having 2 yellow cars in the race is a bit too similar. Barney's car will be impossible to drive on a racetrack like this, especially in the first corner. Lucky's truck is absolutely massive and is tricky to animate well. So that leaves us with Wrench and his buggy. I also really love his face print. For some reason he always reminds me of Crunch from Alpha Team, even though they don't look alike when you put them next to each other. For the in-game race we would have enough drivers, but why not add 2 extra drivers for the video? Sid Vacant seems to be the most recognizable character, and I've included him quite a few times in the backgrounds of other videos, so you can have some time in the spotlight in this video. Then we could choose between Megahertz, Sandy Surf and Brad Speedo. Megahertz's driving style would be funny to see. Sandy Surf would probably drive a lot off-road and have an advantage in the mud. But since this track doesn't have any mud, it's probably not too interesting to watch. Brad Speedo's flamboyant character and racing driving style is a good fit for this. Also just look at that smile. I think it would fit well for this video. With the driver selected, we can start building the racetrack. The first thing to do was to recreate the texture of the road. There are more road textures than I thought, but luckily they're all quite similar. Once I figured out the first piece, only minor changes needed to be made for the rest. With the road textures created, I can build the path of the track. It's a pretty similar process as that in the construction mode of the game. But now I don't have Mr. X screaming at me what all the different buttons do. And this is what the track looks like on its own. And now we can fill this empty environment with the buildings and other elements. I recreated the buildings to be as accurate as possible, but sometimes I have to do some guesswork since some details are difficult to make out. But with the help from Fred, the environment was quickly built. When building the environment, I noticed that the developers tried to give the track different areas. So the start seems like a residential area. The region around the factory is an industrial area with an airport, and next to it seems to be like a harbor area. And then there's a highway that connects to the start. You might have noticed this already, but I never did when playing the game. Cool attention to detail. With the track in place, it was time to animate everything. I tried to make the race more engaging than the actual game, with close racing and multiple overtakes. But it also needs time to breathe here and there, so I hope the balance between the two is right. I won't reveal much more because I want the end result to surprise you. Also, I've hidden the Brickster somewhere in the video, so let me know if you've seen them. So this is what I think LEGO Stunt Rally would look like if it was made today.
I see you have beaten Radium and become the city champion.
And there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed the end result. I'm really happy with how the video turned out. It was good fun to experience the game through its recreation. I've noticed so many fun details when building the map, but there were some minifigs missing in the scene. So I've added the sig figs of channel members as a thank you for their support. This project has taken way too much time to create, but I'm glad I did it. This game is special to me and it would be a shame if it was forgotten. Stunt Rally isn't as memorable as games like LEGO Island or Racers, but there's passion behind the game's development, and I'm very grateful for the fond memories I have playing this game when I was young. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.